Our second strategy is sort of like using groups, but what we're going to do is go back and change the drawing mode. Now, all I need to do is select any tool up here. I'm just going to select the pencil tool for a moment, and we have our object drawing mode switch, which we can turn on by clicking it. Now, you should see the indication that it's on, and what's interesting about this is a toggle for all the drawing tools. If it's on for the pencil tool, it's also on for the oval tool. When drawing in object mode, it's like drawing a group straight out. If I just go down to my stage and drag out an oval, it should use the normal settings that we have for fill and stroke, but if you look closely, it looks just like the group did when we selected it. In fact, this object comes out pre-grouped. There are a couple of differences. With a drawing object, it doesn't say group in the property menu when it's selected, it says drawing object, and you can make a few changes to it. For instance, I can change the fill and the stroke of this object right here, but I cannot reshape it. If I go back and choose my selection tool, I can't reshape the vector inside there. If I treat it like a group and double-click it, I can open it up just like a group does. It says drawing object at the top, but this does allow me to reshape the object, and you can see the other objects are dimmed out, and I can go back to scene 1 just like groups by clicking on scene 1. The one thing I like to make sure you know is that if you switch from one mode to the other, your tool palette is going to stay that way until you switch it back. My tool palette is set in object drawing mode right now, and if I just choose any other tool like the pencil tool, I'll squiggle out another little line, and you can see that immediately it shows up as a grouped element, not as a shape element. Our drawing objects are so close to groups, if you go over to your selection tool, you have an object selected, and go to modify, you can actually ungroup it. So it really is just a pre-grouped object. You can see that my stroke shows up just as it would have in normal object drawing mode, and I can reshape it and do whatever I want with it. So just make sure you know which mode you're working in. Feel free to play around with the tools a little bit more, but I hope you've gotten a feel for how the basic vector drawing tools are going to work for you. We've seen how to select things, how to draw things, how to manipulate them, how to get them to cut apart and not cut apart. Once you're finished, though, we want to set our file up so that we're ready for the next chapter where we're actually going to be laying out our website. So the very last thing I'm going to do is just select everything that I've drawn on the screen. I'm going to hit the delete key so we empty everything out. And I'm going to save my file so that it's ready for the next chapter.